Alright, welcome to my instructional video. My name's Eli. I'm here at Bud's Repair. We're working on an old Corvette. I'm going to be showing you something that's not, in my opinion, very well documented, and that's going to be how to make a solder joint in a relatively tight space. So with less room to work, won't be able to use a torch or anything like that. Alright, so here's everything we're going to need to make a good solder joint. We got a soldering iron, some heat shrink, a razor blade to cut the heat shrink, a lighter to shrink the heat shrink, got some flux core solder, and most importantly, some nice stripper cutters. Here we've got a broken wire. The other one was broken too, but it's already been repaired. So,
okay, go ahead.
Alright, so here's our wire that needs to be repaired. You can see it's completely severed. So step one is going to be to cut your shrink wrap to the proper size using your razor blade and slip it over your wire to be repaired so that after you make the connection, you can slip it back over. Use your strippers to strip the wire like so. And what you want to do, very important, you bring these together like a cross and you wrap them around the tail section of the other side. And bonus points, you can become NASA certified in soldering if you wrap them around each other 3 times. Alright, so the next step is going to be heating your wire with your soldering gun. So you're going to pull a trigger, let the soldering gun warm up, and you're going to heat the wire using the soldering gun by holding the end against it. Let's put a dab on this back side. Yeah, we're not there yet. So as you're warming your wire, get your flux core solder ready, and what you're going to want to do is you want to stab the solder. You might warm up the flux by hitting the tip of the gun with it, but what you want to do is actually get the solder onto the wire you're trying to repair and use the heat of the wire to get it to absorb all the way up and down the wire. And it takes time and patience, and trying to melt it onto the gun and then dribble it off the gun onto the wire is not the proper way to do it. You'll start to notice that you can feed the solder into the wire and it'll flow towards the cooler outer ends of the wire. Like so. And what you want to shoot for right now is fully enveloping the solder joint, the 2 wires that are connected, in silver, but you don't want to add so much that there's big dribbles all over it. Go ahead and stop it.
It'll still come out, huh?
Yeah, so once you got your wire fully enveloped in solder, it'll be shiny silver, and you can give it a good tug, make sure it's not going to come apart, and that's how you know you're ready to insulate it. So to insulate it, you're going to slide your heat shrink back over. That's why it's so crucial to do it there in the beginning. And this part's no rocket science. Just use a lighter to shrink your heat shrink. That's good. Boom, there you go. Insulated and soldered electrical connection.